intended for mature audiences may contain language and content not suitable for younger listeners. And most of that content's coming out of Justin's mouth.
There was something that I was, just kind of like thinking about the other day, and it's a little bit off topic compared to what we're talking about, the rap game and stuff like that. But it does have to deal with history, right? In a sense. So I want to talk about Derinkuyu. It's a multi-level underground city in a province of Turkey. It used to hold across maybe 200,000 people, livestock, food stores, like a real underground system that was pretty advanced during its time, going back all the way to the 8th century, 7th century BC, which was like the Byzantine era. Pretty sure what it was. And there was periods of time where folks would just disappear. In a vast city like that, vast underground, advanced era in that time, where the hell did these people go to? Obviously, there's a lot of wars going around that time, that era.
What era was it?
But it doesn't... so it was created in the 8th century BCE. I forgot what time that is, but that's like a long fucking time ago. So it was like sometime in the eras of like the Arab and...
Oh, wait, yeah, BCE's AD, right?
The Byzantine era, I think it was. I can't remember.
I've been during the time when humans created fire and we're making tools.
Is that when the Sumerians existed? Like the beginning of civilization?
You said horsebacks. They were riding no horses then.
Yeah, 8th century BCE. Yeah,
people riding horses. 8th century BC.
They might. 99% sure. Yeah.
I doubt that.
Yeah, that's when like the Greeks and stuff were around.
Yeah. It's before the Greeks.
Way before.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Egypt was still ruling.
They had to have.
Yeah, like the 7th century BC is when the Greeks kind of came in and started taking everything. So like 100 years before.
Yeah, the 8th century BC is 700 BC.
Yes.
So either
7th century, yeah.
Yeah.
So
because before, yeah.
Yeah.
Like having these underground tunnels like that go over 300 meters deep. That's deep. Like I think they had on the lowest level were their churches. So like the fact that they were able to accomplish this and use these underground systems to like really live and then vanish, and then maybe a few centuries later 200 or like 20,000 other different types of folks come there and live there, and then they vanish.
Oh,
so
yeah, this is
thoughts.
Yeah, damn.
Is it like the whole Fallout theory? It's like living underground.
This is way back in the day. Like,
yeah, this is the beginning of civilization.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like the Sumerians who created Sanskrit. Well, maybe a little after that.
Yeah, it was like long time ago. I know there's another city in China where they believe that was underground as well. It was like an underground city. So obviously people had an idea of like what would keep them safe. It's like pretty much like living in the cave, but having the tools to be able to construct that cave to your living needs and what is around you. As far as like them disappearing, shit, the world was brutal back then.
Nobody figured out that this place existed until like what, 50, 60 years ago?
No, yeah. So that gets even crazier.
1963.
That gets even crazier because they even have evidence that it was used like during the Armenian genocide in the 1920s. Like this was used.
Yeah, I could see that.
This was used from the 8th century BC to the 1920s, and then just completely forgotten about. And then in the 1960s, a dude fucking finds it when he's literally like can't figure out. He's like trying to expand his house and fucking finds it behind a wall.
No shit.
That's how most of the shit starts. Yeah.
But how is something? How is there something that was literally used by people from the 8th century up until the 1920s and then just completely forgotten about when you have a fucking city underground, multiple cities underground?
18 stories is what they
Well, it says it
Yeah.
claim
has.
it to be.
Yeah,
That's
it says it
a-
has 20,000.
That's deep.
That's deep. 18 stories. Yo, that is
20,000 people.
20,000. Yeah.
livestock, like everything. What was it that? Here, let me pull up the
This
list
is the
of things
fucking
that they had.
Matrix. Like, yo, they were hiding down in the
Yeah.
fucking tunnels.
Well, I mean, it's not
Damn, I
hard
didn't
to
know it was
forget
that
about.
deep.
Like, I mean, the
They had-
genocide that happened. I mean, why would those people
Yeah, I
talk
don't know,
about
it was
where
like
they
more
live?
Underground
forget about it thing, or it was
complexes,
just like
oil
it
presses,
became
stables, cellars, storage rooms, refections,
Yeah.
chapels, like barrel vaulted ceilings. Like what? Like
I think it's like more one of those lines. It's like, yo, it was one of those things that were not used, so since there was no use for it, was no need to bring it up, and maybe like those generations of people just didn't know about it, or they just didn't care about it anymore.
Yeah, so
That's
just,
only 40. That's 40 years though. There's motherfuckers who were in that tunnel that would still be alive when it was
Today.
rediscovered
Well,
and being
not
like,
today,
oh yeah, I
but-
forgot that we had this whole fucking ancient city
Yeah. I
underground.
mean, like you gotta remember how many people died during the Armenian genocide too. So
yeah.
I mean, like
Oh, okay, fine. Maybe I mean R.I.P. but,
history
like,
does like like things do happen
within,
where
like,
people.
how do you just
that?
like 40 years? You can't. You just 40 years.
I mean, like
I-
it probably there's only probably like a
doesn't
small
seem-
handful of people that knew about it, but they were nowhere to be found to talk
It's
about
not that long of a period, but 40 years is still a long time to be hidden, especially if it's that big, that well known, especially from like the start of time.
it. Mhm.
I don't.
And-
that's not the
And
start of time.
we've only gone
Okay, well, maybe not the start of time, but
the start of
you know,
recorded
centuries,
time,
nine
recorded
stars.
human history.
When right? Yeah. Okay. Right.
Yeah. Plus we've only like they don't even know how big it really is. Like they've re-explored 2,000 square feet of it, and they think that it could be up to 7,000 square feet.
I mean,
But they haven't even explored this entire fucking thing yet.
there's
Yeah,
no
like I
way
said, you
we're
probably
gonna
get
ever
lost in
find
there.
it
There's
all.
probably like traps. Not
There's
traps.
no way
but
we're
I mean,
ever gonna
like,
find it all because half of it's probably
pitfalls.
collapsed.
That's what I'm saying. Like there's probably like a whole bunch of pitfalls in there. Like
Like with different continental shifts
ground
and
is
everything,
eroded.
earthquakes, natural shit, rain. Like, there's no way that shit is. We're never gonna know.
So it is. I mean,
Just like
in that
Atlantis.
area of Turkey is very unique in like the type of form and the type of rock formations and type of rainfall like that. You would not be able to build this very many other places, like a city of this size, underneath of it. But at the same time, you don't just fucking start like digging fucking giant tunnels and shit like without. I'm gonna say some more knowledge. Like, you don't just take a chance and be like, let's go down 18 floors and fucking see
Mhm.
what we can do with this shit.
Yeah, but I mean, think about it though. Like back then, like if let's say the surface is full of fighting and shit, and that's all you know, where's your escape? You're not going up, so it's easier to dig because you know how to dig. You have tools to dig. You don't have tools to go up. So like, I mean, there's a bunch of stuff like that in the world.
Well,
Yeah.
see, what about Petra then? Isn't Petra
Petra's
underground?
dug into
The city
stone.
of Petra?
No, it's dug into the side of a mountain. I think it probably goes down too, but yeah,
But that's what I'm saying. Like
that's one of the world wonders.
half of it is what I think they said 15% of it is outside and the rest is all underground.
Mhm.
I could be wrong.
I don't know the facts of that. But
I only know
I'm
about
pretty
Petra
sure
because of Indiana Jones because they go in there and you
I
know,
feel like
Right.
Petra's like a
he walks
holy
across the
site
bridge.
that we're not allowed to excavate.
Well, I think
Possibly,
yeah,
I
I
don't
think
know.
about it
But,
this
like-
way. It's like this obviously isn't the first time this was done. We don't know about it happening in this country because for the most part, North America is pretty much still like untapped territory as far as archaeological digs and then also finds. And there's still so much that could be out there, but like it could be also one of those things. It's like like I said, we came from caves. We knew that those were safe. Everything else out there, like as soon as we put our fucking heads out there, everything is trying to fucking kill us. We can
Like
only
a dark forest, you mean?
Dark Forest.
yeah. Like the only way that you knew that you could be safe was just like being and living in groups and like living in the caves and being a part of the community. So
But I don't think you need to hide 20,000 people underneath. That's
Oh, they were
That's a
near
lot
the
of people,
Byzantine.
bro.
Oh, were they in the Byzantine Empire
It was used, I think,
with-
later on in the
yeah.
Byzantine Empire.
with Charlemagne? I think they existed at the same time.
Not
So it's been
8000 BC.
used. So we have evidence of it being used by tons of different civilizations over the times.
Oh, okay.
Da, 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 da. So historians have hypothesized that the city was actually built by Anatolian Hittites.
Oh, yeah. No, you're right.
Okay.
In the 15th century as a
Yeah.
way of escaping their enemies.
Exactly.
So, I
Crazy. I
mean,
would have thought it would back further than that.
All
the
right,
15th century BCE?
That's a long time ago.
You said
That's-
15th century.
that's
That's
like
15th
almost
century
3,000
Oh,
BCE.
yeah.
It's
So
close
15th
to
century
3,000
compared to
years
the 8.
ago.
Okay, cool. All right, I was missing that.
Right? 3,000 no, 3,000 years ago almost.
it'd be,
Dude, that's like, yeah, that's more than
yeah,
that.
it'd be like
It's
wait,
like
what'd you say?
14,000.
15th century?
15th century. So the 1400s
Yeah, so it'd be like
BCE.
15,000 years,
Yeah.
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah,
So this place was created 8,000 years before that.
15?
Supposedly.
No, anyway. Either
Yes.
way, long time ago.
Right.
I think our
Well,
math's
I mean,
not
like, could have been the
accurate
start of like what you're saying with the Hittites. Is like, okay, so like this structure that existed before that, and they just further advanced on it.
I mean, basically, so the theory of it being in the 15th century is essentially that when we started going into the Ice Age, humans realized that they had to get out of it or they were going to die on the surface, and so they started digging this. And that's literally the way that the people in that area survived was
Right.
to dig down and basically just be like, fuck it, dig until we can't go. And then they realized that they could dig in this area and, create this tunnel.
I don't know if
Or
we had
maybe,
Ice Age.
Maybe, aliens built it.
Yeah. Oh, so just for clarification, I just looked up. I was wrong about the Sumerian thing. The Sumerians existed, which is like the first ever known civilization of humans who could write in Mesopotamia between 4100 and 1750 BCE. So way fucking before. Well,
Yeah.
actually, that could fall into the same
That's
time
like
frame.
that's like 6,000 years ago.
Yes.
That's not 14,000, right? So 8th century BCE is like what?
Like the dawn of civilization. That's why I was like, yo,
That's
like,
not
this
one
is
of
like
like
when we just coming out of.
modern. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like this is like it's not dawn of civilization, dawn of man. That's like us just coming out of caves.
No,
If
no,
you go
no,
back,
the
The Dawn of
if you
Man
go
is
back-
like no. The Dawn of Man's like 200,000 years or something.
If you go back 2,024 years, you're going back to zero, minus 1,100 years. So, either way, long time ago.
If
So,
whatever, you can add the 2,000 to it. Like it doesn't
That's
matter.
what I'm saying.
It's
Yeah,
still
does
time
not
that has
fucking
passed.
matter.
Like
The
Add
fact
2,000, subtract 1. That's
Yeah.
add 2,000, subtract 1. 100.
you
Man,
start
stop
with
mathing
1
right
instead
now.
of 0 because you
Yeah.
can't count 0.
Okay.
There's no 0 century.
Either way, the fact that, this complex city underground was built and used from the 8th century BCE all the way up until maybe 100 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, and either if it was, to escape prosecution, to survive, whatever the case may be, it blows my mind that, one, not a lot of people know about this. Two, it gets lost in the time of history. And then three, I think it's the most frustrating thing personally for me is like they use it for a freaking tourist attraction. And then next thing you know, I mean, that's just my personal opinion about it, but, personally for me, like, I mean, I don't know. Like, I mean,
I just feel like tourism's like using basic like human cognition. You know what I mean? Like
they're shutting
wanna
down the
see
Taj
things that we know.
Mahal in 2030 due to
Yeah, I
the
heard
amount of
that.
tourists that are becoming.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
shutting it down.
Well, that's why you
because
can't
of
climb
that,
on the
like-
pyramids and like the shit in the Mayan pyramids and all that shit anymore.
It's just people ruin it for everybody else.
Yeah, 'cause
Well,
people
Ruining
suck.
history. Like, who knows?
It's just
I
foot
mean,
traffic.
who knows?
No, it's not just
Sometime-
foot traffic. It's a lot of it's like people fucking stealing shit, trying to break shit off to take
Oh,
home
like
with them.
yeah.
Or
It's like
you could be
grave
like
robber
those
shit.
stupid British kids out out the Roman Coliseum saying that, hey, I love Sarah. Just carved it right into the side of the fucking Coliseum. Everybody was like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
That's
Yeah,
trash.
'cause people are fucking dumb.
That's trash. Just trash.
People are dumb. Apparently not these people, because they were living underground. Apparently in Harmony, but apparently they just kind of disappeared. But it's kind of on the same kind of theory of like, where did all these big ass civilizations just kind of go to?
It just so
Atlantis, the Mayans, like
well, we don't know if Atlantis existed.
any Aztecs, whatever. Okay, let's pretend that they did.
They
Okay,
drank the
Justin,
Kool-Aid.
stop ruining everything that we ever try to talk.
You were
about
on it
the
with the
show.
Mayans and the Egyptians, and
Why
they
can't I
made
talk about
civilization.
Atlantis? What's wrong with that? Like, I mean,
Let's
everybody.
let's kill all of ourselves.
Atlantis is under fucking.
No, there's a simple answer.
South Pole.
The South Pole now.
That's where
Or
Atlantis
it's
Could
is.
be,
just under-
could be because the pole shifted at some point.
Yeah.
Could be. The simple answer
We don't know
is
that.
that a more advanced civilization came along and just wiped them the fuck out.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if you want to go with, I mean, that's how I think about it. Like, especially,
Dark Force theory.
or that these people were underground so long that they started like inbreeding and shit, and they just like ruined themselves, or they got sick from something, and they not enough fresh air, fresh water, blah blah blah. Name an environmental factor.
Or they evolved into lizard people and now they're walking amongst us.
Boom.
In the
Hillary
dark
Clinton.
forests.
Boom.
Well, that went off the real extreme over there, straight to Hillary. But
It's been great hanging out with you guys. Peace, love. Say thank you every once in a while. Justin Baby Boy, cue the damn music. We out, motherfucker.